How Stoicism makes you a better partner without sacrificing yourself. Applying Stoic wisdom to improve relationships without compromising your own values. Have you ever felt like you were giving so much of yourself in a relationship that you lost sight of who you truly are? Or perhaps you've been caught in endless conflicts, wondering why the same arguments keep resurfacing, draining the joy from your connection. What if I told you that an ancient philosophy holds the keys to transforming your relationship, not by sacrificing who you are, but by strengthening it? Stoicism, the philosophy of rational thought, emotional resilience, and inner strength, offers a radically different approach to love and partnership. This isn't about learning tricks or communication hacks. It's about fundamentally changing how you see yourself and your role in a relationship. Imagine being able to handle disagreements without losing your temper or holding grudges. Picture a bond where you and your partner not only grow closer, but also become better individuals together. Stoicism teaches that you don't have to compromise your values to maintain harmony. Instead, it equips you to approach love with wisdom, emotional balance, and a deep sense of mutual respect. Here's the thing. Most people will spend their entire lives struggling with the same toxic patterns in relationships, never realizing there's another way. But you're not like most people. You're here, which means you're ready to uncover the secrets of a truly fulfilling partnership. By the end of this, you'll know how to apply Stoic principles to every corner of your relationship, from managing conflict to setting healthy boundaries, all without losing sight of who you are. The truth is, the only thing standing between you and a stronger, deeper connection is a shift in perspective. And it all starts here. So, are you ready to discover how Stoicism can make you not just a better partner, but also a more grounded, self-aware version of yourself? Because once you see relationships through the lens of Stoic wisdom, you'll never look back. Chapter 1. Love without losing yourself. One of the greatest misconceptions about relationships is the belief that love requires sacrificing parts of yourself. The Stoics would firmly disagree. They argued that a meaningful relationship does not demand the abandonment of your core values or individuality. Instead, it thrives when both partners cultivate their inner selves, remaining true to who they are while fostering a healthy connection. At the heart of Stoicism is the idea that your sense of self-worth must come from within. For Epictetus, one of the great Stoic thinkers, true freedom comes from focusing on what you can control, your thoughts, actions, and decisions. In relationships, this means understanding that you are not responsible for your partner's emotions, just as they are not responsible for yours. This clarity is liberating and allows you to show up authentically in the relationship without feeling like you have to suppress your true self to please the other person. The inner fortress. Think of your mind as a fortress. Stoicism teaches that the only person who holds the key to this fortress is you. When you compromise on your values or twist your identity to fit someone else's expectations, you effectively leave your gates wide open, inviting chaos inside. Relationships based on such fragility often lead to resentment and imbalance. But when you guard your inner world, you become unshakable, a partner who offers stability, not dependency. This doesn't mean building walls or becoming emotionally unavailable. Rather, it's about being so secure in your own identity that your love for your partner flows freely, untainted by fear or insecurity. Consider this. If you are constantly worried about how you are perceived or whether you are enough, are you truly loving or are you merely seeking validation? Balancing autonomy and unity. Stoicism emphasizes the concept of sympathia, a recognition of shared existence and mutual connection. Applied to relationships, this means honoring the individuality of both partners while also celebrating the union you've built together. It's a delicate balance, and achieving it requires constant effort. For example, when disagreements arise, a Stoic approach involves pausing to reflect on whether the issue challenges your values or merely your ego. Many arguments stem not from real conflicts but from bruised pride or miscommunication. A Stoic would ask, is this worth disrupting the harmony of the relationship, or am I reacting impulsively? By practicing this pause, you respect both your partner's perspective and your own boundaries, fostering a healthier dynamic. Real-world application. Let's say your partner has a habit that irritates you. Perhaps they leave the dishes in the sink. Instead of letting frustration fester, a Stoic would focus on their reaction. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Here, you have a choice. You can stew in annoyance, or you can calmly address the issue with clarity and patience. The latter strengthens the relationship because it communicates respect while maintaining your emotional equilibrium. Key takeaway: love without losing yourself requires mastering your inner world. By focusing on what you can control and letting go of unnecessary grievances, you create space for a relationship that is both fulfilling and authentic. Chapter 2: Emotional balance in the face of conflict. Conflict is inevitable in any relationship, but how you handle it determines whether it becomes a destructive force or a path to growth. The Stoics believe that emotions, while natural, must be tempered by reason. This doesn't mean suppressing your feelings, but rather learning to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. The Stoic view on emotional mastery. The Stoics use the term apatheia to describe a state of freedom from irrational passions. Note that this is not the absence of emotion, but the ability to remain calm and composed in the face of emotional turbulence. In relationships, this principle can be transformative. Imagine a heated argument with your partner. The instinctive response might be to lash out, defend yourself, or escalate the conflict. However, Stoicism teaches that in such moments, the best course of action is to step back and observe your emotional state. Ask yourself, is my reaction aligned with the outcome I want for this relationship? This self-awareness can defuse even the most intense situations, allowing you to address the issue with clarity and compassion. Practicing the pause. Seneca advised, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." This simple yet profound advice can prevent countless misunderstandings. When emotions run high, taking a moment to breathe and reflect can mean the difference between resolving a conflict and deepening a divide. For example, if your partner says something hurtful, your initial reaction might be to retaliate. But a Stoic approach would involve recognizing the emotion, perhaps anger or hurt, without letting it control you. Instead of reacting, you pause and consider, what is the most constructive way to address this? By doing so, you not only protect your own peace of mind, but also model emotional maturity for your partner. Turning conflict into opportunity. Conflict, when approached through a Stoic lens, becomes an opportunity for growth. Each disagreement is a chance to practice patience, empathy, and understanding, qualities that strengthen the relationship over time. The key is to view conflicts not as battles to be won, but as problems to be solved collaboratively. One powerful Stoic exercise is the view from above. In the midst of a disagreement, imagine yourself as an observer looking down on the situation from a distance. This perspective helps you detach from your immediate emotions and see the bigger picture. Is the argument about something trivial? Are you both seeking the same outcome but expressing it differently? This mental shift can transform how you approach and resolve conflicts. Real-world application. Consider a scenario where your partner feels you're not spending enough quality time together. Instead of becoming defensive, a Stoic approach would involve active listening. Reflect their feelings back to them. I hear that you're feeling neglected, and that's not what I want for us. This simple act of acknowledgement diffuses tension and opens the door to a productive conversation. Key takeaway: emotional balance is the cornerstone of healthy conflict resolution. By mastering your reactions and approaching disagreements with empathy and reason, you transform conflict into a tool for deepening your connection. Chapter 3: Practicing gratitude without attachment. In the Stoic tradition, gratitude occupies a central role in cultivating happiness and harmony. However, the Stoics practiced a unique form of gratitude, one rooted in the acceptance of impermanence and detachment. This perspective can profoundly reshape how you view and nurture your relationships. Stoic gratitude, appreciation with clarity. At first glance, the idea of detachment might seem counterintuitive to love. Aren't relationships built on connection and commitment? The Stoics would argue that true connection flourishes when it is unburdened by unhealthy attachment. To love deeply is not to cling desperately, but to appreciate fully in the present. Epictetus advised that you should embrace everything as if it were on loan from the gods. Your partner, your time together, even the joyful moments you share. These are all gifts, not guarantees. By adopting this mindset, you foster a deep sense of gratitude for what you have while freeing yourself from the fear of losing it. This does not mean you expect loss or withdraw emotionally. Rather, it empowers you to love openly, unclouded by anxiety or possessiveness. Consider the difference. Is it more meaningful to say, "I need you to complete me," or "I appreciate every moment we share"? The latter, grounded in Stoic gratitude, nurtures a relationship built on respect and genuine connection. The power of memento mori in love. Stoicism often employs the concept of memento mori, remembering that life is finite, to inspire a deeper appreciation for the present. When applied to relationships, this principle serves as a powerful reminder to cherish your partner without taking them for granted. Imagine this. You and your partner are spending a quiet evening together. Instead of letting the moment slip by unnoticed, you pause to reflect on its fleeting nature. This reflection doesn't diminish your joy, it amplifies it. By recognizing that nothing is permanent, you cultivate a profound gratitude for the now, enhancing your relationship in ways that surface-level appreciation cannot. This practice can also transform how you handle challenges. When disagreements arise, the awareness of life's brevity encourages you to resolve conflicts with compassion and urgency. Why waste precious time on anger or resentment when you could be strengthening your bond instead? Gratitude in action. Practicing gratitude in relationships isn't about grand gestures or forced positivity. It's about small, intentional acts that reinforce your appreciation for your partner. A simple thank you for their support or a moment of reflection on their qualities can have a profound impact. For example, take a Stoic-inspired approach to your partner's contributions. Instead of expecting them to meet your needs, view their efforts as gifts. Did they cook dinner or listen to your worries after a long day? Recognize these acts as expressions of care, not obligations. This shift in perspective fosters an environment of mutual respect and acknowledgement. Key takeaway: gratitude without attachment allows you to love freely and deeply. By appreciating the impermanence of life and relationships, you cultivate a connection that is both meaningful and resilient. Chapter 4. Building a relationship rooted in virtue. For the Stoics, the ultimate aim of life was to live in accordance with virtue. They believed that true happiness and fulfillment could only be achieved by embodying qualities such as wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. When applied to relationships, this philosophy transforms how you interact with your partner and build a lasting bond. The role of virtue in love. The Stoics taught that external circumstances, wealth, status, even romantic love, are indifferent. What truly matters is how you conduct yourself. In relationships, this means prioritizing character over superficial desires. A partnership rooted in virtue is one where both individuals strive to bring out the best in each other, not through control or manipulation, but through mutual support and shared values. For example, wisdom in relationships involves understanding your partner's needs and perspectives, even when they differ from your own. Justice means treating them with fairness and respect, regardless of the circumstances. Temperance, or self-discipline, helps you avoid impulsive actions or words that could harm the relationship. And courage enables you to address difficult issues with honesty and integrity, even when it feels uncomfortable. The partnership as a virtuous team. A Stoic relationship is not about perfection, but progress. It's about recognizing that both partners are flawed and choosing to grow together. Think of your relationship as a team effort, where the goal is not to win against each other, but to pursue virtue side by side. For instance, during challenging times, the virtue of courage might manifest as standing by your partner through difficulties, offering unwavering support. Wisdom might involve recognizing when to step back and allow them to solve a problem on their own, fostering their independence. These acts of virtue create a dynamic where both individuals thrive, not at each other's expense, but in harmony. Practical Stoicism in everyday interactions. Virtue in relationships isn't an abstract ideal. It's something you practice daily. This could mean choosing honesty when a white lie would be easier, offering kindness and patience when your partner is struggling, holding yourself accountable for your actions instead of deflecting blame. For example, let's say you're frustrated with your partner's behavior. A Stoic approach would involve tempering your immediate reaction and addressing the issue constructively. Instead of saying, "You're always so careless," you might say, "I feel concerned when this happens. Can we work together to find a solution?" This reframing not only communicates your feelings effectively, but also demonstrates respect and commitment to the relationship. The ripple effect of virtuous love. When both partners prioritize virtue, the relationship becomes a source of strength and inspiration, not just for each other, but for those around them. A virtuous partnership sets an example of what love can look like when it is rooted in mutual respect, personal growth, and shared purpose. Key takeaway: building a relationship rooted in virtue creates a foundation that withstands challenges and deepens over time. By embodying Stoic principles in your interactions, you elevate your partnership into something truly extraordinary. Chapter 5. Mastering emotional resilience in love. Emotional resilience is at the heart of a Stoic's approach to relationships. It is not about suppressing emotions, but about cultivating the strength to navigate them wisely and constructively. In love, this resilience allows you to face challenges, disappointments, and disagreements without losing sight of your values or the connection you share with your partner. Understanding emotional resilience in Stoicism. To the Stoics, emotions are natural responses to external events, but they must be governed by reason. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This idea is critical in relationships, where emotions often run high. Love, after all, opens the door to joy and connection, but also to vulnerability and pain. Emotional resilience begins with the recognition that you cannot control your partner's actions or the outcomes of your efforts. What you can control is your response. This means approaching conflicts calmly, viewing setbacks as opportunities for growth, and maintaining your equilibrium even when things don't go as planned. For example, suppose your partner says something hurtful during an argument. An unexamined reaction might be to lash out or withdraw. But a Stoic response involves pausing to evaluate the situation. What underlying emotions might have prompted their words? How can you address the issue constructively? This thoughtful approach not only prevents escalation, but also strengthens the relationship over time. The role of perspective in emotional resilience. One of the most powerful tools the Stoics employed was perspective. They believed that by shifting how you perceive a situation, you can alter its emotional impact. This concept is invaluable in relationships, where misunderstandings and disappointments are inevitable. Imagine you're upset because your partner forgot an important date. Instead of interpreting this as a sign of neglect, consider alternative explanations. Were they overwhelmed by work? Did they simply make an honest mistake? By reframing the situation, you not only ease your own emotional burden, but also approach the issue with greater empathy and clarity. This doesn't mean ignoring problems or suppressing your feelings. Instead, it's about ensuring your emotions align with reality and serve a constructive purpose. Ask yourself, is my reaction helping or hindering the resolution of this issue? Am I acting in a way that reflects my values and strengthens our bond? Practical exercises to build resilience in love. Emotional resilience, like any skill, requires practice. The Stoics use specific techniques to cultivate their inner strength, many of which can be applied to relationships. 1. Negative visualization. This practice involves imagining worst-case scenarios to build gratitude and preparedness. In a relationship, this might mean contemplating life without your partner, not to dwell on loss, but to deepen your appreciation for their presence. This exercise also reduces the fear of potential challenges, empowering you to face them with calm and confidence. 2. Journaling. Regular self-reflection helps you process emotions and identify areas for growth. After a disagreement, take time to write about what happened, how you felt, and what you can learn. This practice not only clarifies your thoughts, but also prevents lingering resentment. 3. Voluntary discomfort. The Stoics often embrace discomfort to strengthen their resilience. In relationships, this could mean having tough conversations or addressing sensitive issues directly. While uncomfortable in the moment, these efforts build trust and understanding, fortifying your bond over time. Resilience in action. Handling conflict with grace. Conflict is a natural part of any relationship, but how you handle it can either strengthen or weaken your connection. Stoic emotional resilience offers a framework for navigating disagreements without losing sight of your values or your partner's humanity. For instance, instead of focusing on winning an argument, aim to resolve it collaboratively. Practice active listening, seeking to understand your partner's perspective before responding. If emotions run high, take a break to reflect and return to the conversation with a clearer mind. Remember, the goal is not to avoid conflict, but to approach it in a way that fosters growth and mutual respect. The ripple effect of resilient love. When you embody emotional resilience in your relationship, its benefits extend far beyond your partnership. Your calm, thoughtful approach sets an example for others, showing that love can be both passionate and stable, both deep and grounded. Moreover, resilience enhances your own well-being, reducing stress and increasing your capacity for joy and connection. Stoicism teaches us that love, like life, is filled with challenges and opportunities for growth. By practicing gratitude without attachment, building a relationship rooted in virtue, and mastering emotional resilience, you can create a partnership that is not only enduring, but also deeply fulfilling. This approach to love does not require you to sacrifice your individuality or suppress your emotions. Instead, it empowers you to bring your best self to the relationship, inspiring your partner to do the same. Together, you can navigate the complexities of love with wisdom, courage, and grace. What do you think is the most powerful Stoic principle for relationships? Gratitude, virtue, or resilience? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let us know how Stoicism has shaped your perspective on love.